No, we good, brother. Yo, 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 what up, niece? We ready to get it.
You definitely can bring this one back.
Yeah, because I don't even use that one. Man left a cup on the table. I don't want to be touching no cup. Y'all see I be in here spraying it down. Look at that. What up, y'all? Everybody hit that like button on your way in here. Like, share, subscribe. It's a mess. Like, share, subscribe. We got a bombshell to go off today. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
Avenue to the 17134. Student-powered teacher-led learning projects.
Like, share, subscribe. Let's go.
Spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today. Join at thinkitup.org.
We've got a lot to talk about. On January 7th, 2025, the Eden Canyon fire scorched Altadena, torching.
Like, share, subscribe. Let's go. Like, share, subscribe. This is going to be crazy. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, damn. James. Damn, James. Come on. Off the rip. Hey, thank you, James. Damn. Let's go. Brother James, thank you, sir. Out the gate. Everybody got to like that.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hit his...
Off rip. Everybody got to like that.
We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the
Herschel, thank you. Let's go. Let's go.
The thing that we have to recognize, of course, is that the relationship between men and women, or between a man and woman, is not an isolated situation. That the way you love one another, the way you love your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your husbands, your wives, your children, is rooted in a political, social system. Love, it just does not flow out of your heart. You know, and it's just not natural like we tend to think of it as being. It is influenced by your own experience as an individual, as well as by your experience as a people. One of the reasons why I wrote the book, The Developmental Psychology of the Black Child, is the fact that I wanted to bring to people's attention that you just couldn't read a standard book on developmental psychology and apply what was found in that book to the black child. Because black people have a unique history. It is the history of the black child is not the history of the white child. The history of the black parent is not the history of the white parent. The political social position that black people are in this country is not the political social position of whites. The psychology of black people flows from the history and experience of black people. If you went into a psychologist's office, he would want or she would want to know your own personal history, because it is only through understanding your personal history as an individual that your behavior can be understood. A psychologist or psychiatrist could not take the history of another individual and just apply it to you and say, well, I know this other person very well, so therefore you must behave this way too. And the values they have and the ideas they have must be the same you have. The only difference between you and this other person is that they have a different color from you. That is not the way psychology is built, ladies and gentlemen. You can only be understood as an individual in terms of your own history and experience. When we talk about then the psychology of black people, we must understand that psychology in terms of the experience of our people. You cannot go and get a psychology from another people whose history and experience has been different and just impose it upon yourself. You will create problems. And if
Wow. Oh, Dr. Amos Wilson. Y'all know he don't play no reindeer games with this information. I had to put this out. He said something that was very powerful, and couched in what he said, it gave explanation to why I say you can't understand the heights of love. He says your idea of love is coming from your experience. He was a psychologist, right? And he was explaining your experience is the translator of your reality. Listen, that in and of itself creates the condition, right? This is why if you didn't get this, if you didn't get that, if you wasn't treated this way, that's your story. Then he went even further to say, man, white civilization or society got all of its information from black civilization or society. Now, look at it from this perspective. That is, blacks before slavery, we were the ones who thought about God first, who thought about philosophy first, who thought about psychology first, who thought about mathematics first, who thought about writing first, we are the originators of all of this. And we educated Greece and Rome and everywhere else. We educated the world. Yes, all them people were black. You know that. Come on now. You don't have to agree. It's fine. This, just do the research. You'll see. But then you have black people after slavery who find their meaning and their identity, right, through their oppressors' institutions and systems. Oh my goodness. This is about to get really deep. Why? Why is this important? This is going to tie into yesterday's show about shame. I had to do yesterday's show to set you up for this one. So I'm in a conversation with a sister who's been an acquaintance of mine for over 10, 15 years. She's been following the show for that long. And she said something that just blew my mind away. I guess she was commenting on a clip that was shared, or something of that sort. It was some kind of clip. Either I shared it with her or she shared it with me, but it was a terrible clip, and I'm not playing it here. But we have other clips that illustrate the ideas that were present there. But the sister's response was, she said, men, she was speaking specifically of brothers. She said, men have become so weak that we have forgotten how to shame our women back into submission. So this is why yesterday's show was talking about how do you take shame, which vibrates at 20 hertz, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins. How do you take that and transmute it, alchemize it into a catalyst for expansion, for growth? And when she was talking to me, it felt like the shame that your parent may put on you, right, in order to try to motivate you. But at the same time, I thought it was wild. I thought it was a wild statement, period. But it was even more wild because it was coming from a sister. I was like, what? You believe that? And she was like, yeah. She said, men are so soft now that they have forgotten how to shame us into submission. I said, I must bring this before the radio council. I need your perspective. I sent it to Attila. Attila, one thing about Attila, this is a true Taurus right here. Attila went immediately into what? No. I said, hold on, Attila, let's dissect it. No, she wrong. She trying to escape something. She got a responsibility here, and she try. I said, hold on, let's unpack it all the way, Attila. Attila went to war immediately, and so we wound up turning this into two topics. I said, first, we need to understand the consciousness level of shame. Right? We need to understand what shame is, because I've had people on my show before that said we got to start shaming our kids again because we were raised up better when we had a sense of shame. Like you're going to bring shame on the family. But shame, guilt, these are all very low vibrational levels of consciousness. And my question was, can they be alchemized to raise up? Right? By way of shame. And I was like, wow, that's a heavy question. But for her to say, men are soft and are afraid to shame us out of particular behaviors. And I think she was making reference to the Sexy Reds, the Glorillas, Meg Thee Stallion was just on the carpet, on the Oscars carpet, with everything out, with just pasties. Even some sisters, pulled back. So I thought it was very interesting. Tonight's topic, have men become too soft to shame women into submission? Oh my goodness. Beneath TikTok's trad wife cosplay and corporate feminism's cortisol hustle lies a quantum truth. Gendered shame mutates mitochondrial DNA into compliance. White woman's tears weaponize Fanon's racial trauma at 20 hertz, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins. Entangling black wombs, according to Queen Afua, in holographic self-sabotage. Oh my God. Men's perceived softness. The biohack dominance via AI's porn dopamine tsunamis, their atrophied insulas breeding Dr. Ramani's narcissistic specters. What about Christianity's submit doctrine? Al-Sudurf shrinks amygdala into Schiraldi's PTSD husks, while BDSM's safe words gaslight Karn's betrayal bonds as healing. I want to know if you're experiencing this low consciousness level of relating that many people seem to be pretty comfortable with. We already know what is toxic, right? That if you were brought up in a toxic environment, that becomes your norm, right? That becomes your familiar. You'd rather have that than nothing at all, right? When nothing actually represents freedom. But I won't get into that right now. What about the dark triads, 75 hertz frequencies of Machiavellianism, sinking into incels with unintegrated Liliths in Campbell's simulation, where Kalima's rage, once sold as Lululemon transcendence, detonates biophotonic rebellions to survive. Humanity must dimethylate Deida's feminine fuel. Listen, have you ever read David Deida's work? The Way of the Superior Man? What is feminine fuel? He's talking about this. This is a very heavy thing. To survive, humanity must dimethylate Deida's feminine fuel dependency. Burn Stepford wife scripts with Hawking's radiation, and let Black women's natural hair cortisol drop, fracture the hologram. Come on. Are we going to choose chains or cosmic annihilation? I'm very interested to see, are there women out there that are performing submission for security? And are there men out there who are trying to run themselves into the ground in order to conquer the world so that they don't have to conquer themselves? Because if you got women that are willing to perform, right, submission, trad wife, if they're willing to do that, willing to be shamed in exchange for security, is this a match made in heaven? I'm really interested to know. AI-driven gender lobotomies, how TikTok's trad wife trends rewires women's DNA into 1950s subservience. Question, do viral trad wives, right, do these reels operantly condition, this is B.F. Skinner's work, women's oxytocin receptors, right, to crave shame-based compliance? Wow. To claim shame-based compliance. Ladies, I need you to talk to me tonight. Where's the line for abuse? Do you see being shamed as a form of abuse? But would you tolerate it for a certain level of security? In your spirit, you know, I don't agree with this man's leadership. I don't agree with his character. I don't agree with the fact that he thinks conquering the world is conquering his soul. Ooh. Are you a performative Stepford wife? I want to know. Are you a performative fembot? You remember the fembots on the $6 Million Man? I'm sorry. That's a terrible reference. There's so many young kids out there that have never heard of the $6 Million Man. I have to ask the question. I have to ask this question. The sister said to me, we've lost our ability to shame our women into compliance. What woman out there agrees with her? I would like to know. Dark feminine burnout. Corporate feminism, cortisol addiction, masked as empowerment. Oh my goodness. When we come forward, we're going to get even deeper. Let's go. Hey, listen. I appreciate the early support. I appreciate the early support. Thank you guys. Can you guys continue to support? Hit the like button, hit the share button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the early support. Please continue to support. You can support here on my super chat, right? Which is the little dollar sign down at the bottom of the chat. The little dollar sign down at the bottom of the chat. Or, what up, Attila? You stabbing tonight already. Hey, man, we got to get at it. Or you could go directly to my Cash App. If you go to my Cash App, I get it tonight. If you do it here, I get it next month. Show your support by hitting Zoe's Cash App, $ Zoe What Netter, or the Super Chat. My inner Cali is pissed. Why? 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 There's no need to be pissed. Who pissed you off? Herschel is back at it again. Herschel is in here wilding yet again. Attila, what you mad about? Hey, those likes haven't moved. There's 19 people in here who haven't hit the like. We like to get the likes to match. Okay? We like to get the likes to match the amount of people in the room. It's free to like. Nothing in here costs. Everything is a donation. Everything is a gift. Nothing in here costs. You want to see some action on what? We are 22 minutes into the show. Patience. She like, action. Where's the mala made of skull? What? Come on. I could. Absolutely. Give me Nzinga. Just because I'm not a huge dance hall fan. Nzinga, give me a list. Make a playlist.
First of all, I don't know what love is. I don't know what love is. But I do know that I'm jealous. I do know that I am terribly attached to her. And in that attachment, there's fear, there's jealousy, there's anxiety, there is sense of dependency. I don't like to depend, but I depend. because I'm lonely and I'm shoved around by society all over the office and the factory, and I come home, I want to feel comfort, companionship, escape from myself. So I'm dependent, attached to that person. But how am I, I'm asking myself, how am I to be free of this attachment?
Man, Krishnamurti, he's describing so much of what's happening right now. That was in the 70s he was talking back then. That lady told me out of her mouth, men are soft. Today's men are soft. She said, we've lost our ability to shame us. I was like, wow. It reminded me of the show where I said, you can't do your partner can't do your parents' unfinished work on you. And it was like, were you shamed? If you need him to shame you to get you right, was that the preferred method that your parent used? I was just blown away. There's a woman out there who believes this. And I believe, because I had another woman tell me directly, men are vulnerable to the niceties of women. Meaning, if a woman is catering and kind and nurturing, she said most men don't look beyond the action of that. She said the intent might not be, she might not be doing it for good intention. She might be doing it to manipulate you. And because you probably didn't get what she's giving you, you're totally blindsided by her performative cognitive kindness. Do you see? That's what this TikTok trad wife thing is all about. Dark feminine burnout, corporate feminism, cortisol addiction, masked as empowerment. Question: does leaning into girl boss culture mutate mitochondria DNA, according to Bill Lipton, to crave cortisol spikes, turning Susan's Blackamoor's meme verses into Eric Fromm's Escape from Freedom? Here's the insight. Black women rejecting strong black women tropes, according to Queen Afua, shows 41% lower cortisol, proving resilience requires systematic betrayal. Look at that. If that's what she's living in, why wouldn't she perform niceness? Why wouldn't she be more tolerant of receiving shame from a man who could provide and protect her? Shame-based motivation. Oh, this is ugly. Are y'all ready for tonight's? I don't know if you're ready for tonight's. I don't know. But what I do know is the fact that this thought was given to me by a woman really revealed kind of my own blind side. I didn't know that there are women out there that are okay with this. Do men need to continue shaming women in order to bring them back under subjection? Is fear of equality the result of misguided dominion over self? Do women require leadership from men because they refuse to and or cannot lead themselves? Is this a form of codependency via self-responsibility shirking? I don't want to do the inner work. I want the soft life. I don't want to have to go in and write a forgiveness letter to my mom or my father or my uncle or my aunt. I don't want to have to do any self-reflection. So if I have a man that can protect me from all of that so I can live softly, is this self-responsibility shirking? When we come forward, the phone line's already percolating. We all over the country. You know you want to get involved. 1-800-920-1580. Let's talk. Now, Nzinga. No, I was just going to say, we got 2 callers on the line. Can I get one more? Yeah. We got 2 callers on the line. Can I get one more? What y'all waiting on? Let me just say this again. I don't like talking more than y'all. I set up the conversation. You get involved. What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? We got to get out of this phase where our people love to hear somebody talk that they think is charismatic or articulate or intelligent, whatever. We love to get the answers gifted to us via talking. We don't like to talk ourselves. We like to listen, and pick and choose which pieces resonate and what we want to do. This is a collaborative effort. This is a collaborative effort. And I want you guys to participate. The whole just sitting in the background. And I understand there's some people at work who can't call. I'm not talking to you. You guys don't have to go, hey, man, I'm at work, or else I would. I understand. I'm making a provision, right? I'm saying the people who can should. And oftentimes you find people are just in the background taking notes, listening. And that's cool too. But as the great Krishnamurti always said, if either we're doing this together or we're not doing it at all. We have to do this together, because I'm not in the position, and I'm never going to claim the position, that I know everything. Your insight matters. Deep egg pockets? What is that? Mimi, the topic is why. What did Mimi, let me see where Mimi at. Hey everyone, please write the topic in the chat. I missed it. Thank you. Gotcha. So the topic. Would a woman accept shame-based correction from a man who is protecting and providing for her? Listen to what I said. Would a woman accept shame-based correction, instruction from a man who is protecting and providing for her? Because that's what the lady said. No, I'm giving her the topic. I'm taking meds. I'm going to trust you. Oh, Lord. Hopefully you okay. Listen, this is my longest break. We have 3 minutes. If you're enjoying the content, please support the channel. We only ask for the bare minimum, $2, $3. Go down to the super chat. It's at the bottom of the chat. It's a $sign. You can hit it. That'll get right to YouTube. Or you can go directly to my Cash App. My Cash App is $Zoe What Netter. Yes, please get well, Mimi. You can't be out here in car accidents. What was that? mm, mm, mm.
So how do you know if you're being codependent or if someone in your life is getting all codependent on you? Let's talk about some signs. These are some things I've noticed codependent people do, all right? Codependent people second guess themselves. When they feel like they've been mistreated, a little loop kicks in and makes them distort what they're saying. And so instead of thinking, you know what, I don't accept this, they instead think, that person needs to change so that I don't feel hurt. And instead of accepting other people, and accepting, by the way, it doesn't mean that you condone bad behavior. Accepting people just means you see things how they are and you realize that's how they are. And you don't put all your effort into trying to make other people be different. You accept that's how they are. So instead of setting a boundary, walking away from people who you accept do not meet your standards, then you end up holding on tighter, or maybe even like seizing on that person. Because leaving, for a lot of people with PTSD, it doesn't feel like an option. That abandonment wound makes leaving a relationship feel like, one step lighter than death, just very hard to do. And so a codependent will end up pushing and pushing and pushing to convince the other person, you have to change, you must change what you're doing. They don't think that's what they're doing, of course. They think that what they're doing is, encouraging, helping, right? And if the other person doesn't want to change or be helped, then the codependent increases the pressure. Again, they don't leave, but they stay, and the pressure starts to go up, and it can come out at the extremes of like shame and threats and manipulation. I'll leave you, I'll hurt myself, I'll tell everybody what you did. Now, if you've been with somebody who does this kind of thing, makes threats, you probably once, reacted to it, then you stopped taking it seriously, then you kind of shut down to the person. Threats are very destructive to relationships.
My goodness. That's the fairy, the crappy fairy child. What is it? My crappy fairy childhood, fairy crappy childhood, crappy childhood fairy. There it is. And that word I struggled with is biophotonic. I knew I had to get it or it was gonna bother me. Biophotonic. I'm back in the game now. We got callers on the line. Tonight's topic is deep. Sister in the chat, Mimi from where's Mimi from? Jacksonville. She basically asked, like, what is the topic? And I said, basically the question is, are we so toxic, traumatized, wounded, whatever, that some women would take shame-based correction and or instruction from a man who is an adroit provider and protector? Would you be willing, and a lot of women have done this, but She clearly spoke of this as if this was the remedy for all that ails us. She said men are soft because we've lost the ability or forgotten how to shame-based correct women. And then the question becomes, are there women out there that don't mind being corrected with a sprinkle, salt-based touch of shame-based correction if that man is a provider and a protector? I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. We got callers on the line. I want to get everybody in. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's get it. We got JW, South Central Los Angeles. JW back in the building. Jay, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
I'm good,
Well,
brother.
you know what? Like I had mentioned in the past about society and how we are dictated by society, that particular woman, she reminds me of the movie Color Purple and the patriarchy of, men being abusive or whatever. But some women will, there's layers to it. Some women will tolerate various different circumstances just for survival. I remember calling in about a year ago. I said everybody gets married for every reason but the right reason.
Mm-hmm.
But some people want to leave home, early because of their childhood trauma as teenagers or whatever, and they get married at the early age instead of love, or they went their perfect soulmate, or however you want to phrase it. So that their motives or intention is not correct, or you follow the point. And so there's layers to it. Yeah, some women will tolerate that. But the bottom line is this, having that mentality that lets you know how society has really brainwashed us. That's my personal opinion. I think we're being conditioned and we accept what the European perspective, or since we've been indoctrinated in American culture, we use our judgment or base our thoughts based on what society has dictated to us. We're not even using our own true mind or thoughts or feelings or all the above, because we don't even know our own culture and how we would normally respond to certain situations in terms of societal as a group of all African American people, instead of being indoctrinated into this white open air prison. So I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want you to play the music, but I would love to engage in more in-depth conversation. But I think you got the basic point.
Man, I appreciate you, J-Dub. JW in the building. South Central Los Angeles in the house. The first call in the building. You already know what it is. JW is our guy. All you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580 to join the discussion. He brought up some good points. He's talking about societal conditioning. We're talking about operant conditioning. B.F. Skinner, look it up. Masculine energy as feminine fuel. Get thee behind me, woman. Can proper masculine leadership teach a woman self-respect? Is that a man's job to teach a woman self-respect? 1-800-920-1580. Is fear of equality the result of misguided dominion over self? Relationships as shame-based performance improvement plans. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. Are you guys even hip to Lilith? When we come forward, we're going to talk more about it. We got more callers on the line. I want to get everybody in. Don't forget, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call 1-800-920-1580. What up, y'all? Wisdom is a woman. Lilith Shakina. Self-respect was supposed to start at home. Oof. Let's get on the lines, guys. Let's talk. We got one caller on the line. Where's everybody at? Where are my people who got something to say? Did I see? There he is. Herschel done migrated over to the Cash App. Thank you, bruh. Herschel is our first and only Cash App. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for, man, this week. I mean, you could take next week off, brother. You could just join the conversation. You have put this show on your back, man. We appreciate it. I mean, thank you. There's nothing more I can ask. You have supported Herschel, so thank you, brother. What kind of women do you date? Whose brain do you want to pick? Mimi? Well, let me get out. Maybe this ain't the conversation I'm supposed to be in. Herschel, what up? Attila, where you at? Because you going to explain Lilith. Eve was the chosen presentation. VOR, a Herschel. Present. That's funny. That's funny, Third Eye. I told you I'm not calling. Oh, did you? I didn't know it. Wait a minute. Let the bitter baby daddies have what? What up, is Davy Lee? mm. Live in 30 seconds. She had a whole paradise. It wasn't enough. Oh, wow. Don't let her slide, she can slide. She does a lot. Make it what? Wait. Yeah. Don't call.
I hear a bunch of people talking about masculine and feminine energy, and most people have no clue what they're talking about. First and foremost, masculine and feminine energy do not attract each other. The definition of attract means to pull towards it. Masculine energy does not pull energy towards it. Masculine energy pursues. Masculine energy is based on work ethic, willpower, and action. Feminine energy is not based on action. Feminine energy is based on attraction, which means to draw energy towards it. So all things that draw energy towards it, your attention, your desire, is feminine in nature. Money, cars, clothes, jewelry are all feminine in nature. If you are attracted to a man, it is not the masculine energy that you're attracted to. It is the feminine energy that he has acquired that is drawing your attention towards him.
Oh, no. I mean, there were bits and pieces in there that I could tolerate. To say that masculine energy chases is basically saying men are born to be anxious, preoccupied. I'm just going to keep chasing until I catch one. No, I'm sorry. Like, come on. Like, I hear her, but it's like you're trying to make these complex ideas. And really, the masculine feminine thing, that is metaphysical, right? That's yin and yang, right? That's light and dark. That's, you get what I'm saying? And many people don't understand the metaphysical part of it, right? Masculine energy mirrors feminine energy, and feminine energy mirrors masculine energy. And both men and women have yin and yang within them. So the part that I kind of agreed with, which was kind of funny, she was like, because even in West African belief, right, Ifa, uh, the woman or the female deities represent sweetness and wealth and money. The term for money is a feminine deity called Age. And when you see the cowrie shells, that used to be money. And that's Age. So that piece of what she was saying was correct. And in terms of the woman is attracted to what the man has accumulated. Money is seen as feminine in the Ifa tradition, right? If you mistreat women, you're mistreating your money. You're not going to get any money. You're going to ruin your financial opportunities because the deity of money is a woman called Age. Do you see? Her father, right? Or not necessarily her father. Let's go with Yemeya. And most people have heard of Yemeya. That is the mermaid, the sister, the water, the mothers of the water, right? Her father is Olukun. Yemeya represents the part of the ocean that the sun can reach and illuminate. Her father is at the bottom of the ocean. What does water represent? Consciousness. So he is the subconscious. So, and I'm giving you all of this context just to say that piece that she said about women being attracted to the things that you have accumulated. Well, let's take it, let's peel it back even further. Do women even like men unless they are adorned in the things that the femininity or that the feminine brings? Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. We got John, Mountain View, Hawaii. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Do you mind if I choose violence, or do I need to be balanced at this conversation?
Just long as you don't cuss, you got the right to be violent.
Okay. Greetings and blessings all. Got to get that out of the way because I want the blessings to flow from the words that I'm going to speak. First and foremost, in most cases, when you're expecting someone to submit, 9 times out of 10, that happens in a bedroom.
Wow. Here we go.
And if you're playing on that side of the game, you're playing a very dangerous game.
Keep going.
The point of the submission is if you're wanting to be quote unquote shamed, it happens here too. Men who can't get it up get shamed all the time.
Uh-oh.
Men who doesn't last as long as they need to
They get shamed all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're expecting to be as sexy naked, that means you got to work out more, and now it's a performative measure before I even get into the bed. But still, for me, as the human being, the male who has to provide for you, whatever that is, even after the fact, don't you have to submit to get it?
Come on. Come on.
And I'm not saying that women have to be in this position, nor do men. Because if you're looking at it in today's society, the games of the rules have changed. Bring in passport bros, bring in people who are midtown, changing men going their own way. The red pill, which again, I see the light, but it's still in darkness. So why am I looking at this the way that I'm looking at it?
Mm. Mm.
But ma'am, didn't you start all of this with feminism? Didn't you start this with equality? Didn't you start this with all of this stuff that you even changed the game yourself? Or why in the world would 80% of the divorces that take place is in your hands? Let's not talk about the black community. Let's not talk about the educated black community.
Keep going. Keep going. You got the floor. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Do you feel like maybe you have more power when your proverbial ish is together in this society? Do you feel like your word is respected more when you are?
The answer to these questions is hell no. Because why am I still performing to a measure that don't measure me?
Ooh, explain. Give me more. Why?
Due to the fact that I got to go through this whole checklist to be something that somebody says I am, when I don't even get to say who I am first.
Have you ever been told who you are by your significant other, and they're speaking from a positionality of certainty as if they know you better than you, and you were born as you? Keep going.
Well, the whole point is, and I'm going to try and draw it because I want to hear other people's perspective on it. Ma'am, if you really wanted the shame, you'd stay in the place where somebody is protecting you and keeping you anyway. That means you would actually choose somebody who's best for you. Not someone you feel looks good, has all the checklists, does what you want to do, because even that man you would have in your possession, you would disrespect.
Wow. I hear this a lot from a lot of men who say, and I'm just interested because, relationship is a mirror. But I hear a lot of men say, I did this, I took care of this was handled, that was handled, and I was still dissed. Right? Why is that the case when that happens? Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. When we come forward, I'm going to wrap this up with my good friend, Pastor John. First hour gone. I want to hear from some women. You guys are real quiet. I want to hear from some women. Did I frame this thing properly? Do you understand? I'm talking to the women and the women in this chat only. Do you understand what I'm saying? What up, AR? Is it framed properly? Do you understand the points that are being laid down? Ladies. So if so, do you resonate? Is any of it familiar? Have you been in a situation like this? Did you turn a situation down where a man felt like he could, right, shame you while trying to raise you up, shame you while trying to instruct you? Have you found yourself in that position? And if you have, What did you do to get out of it? Or did you embrace it because of the ancillary and tertiary benefits that he may have provided? Ladies, why can't you call in and talk to me about it? I want to hear the feminine side of this. Yes, they're called pimps. Wow. Call in. Put us on blast. They have to be willing to listen to that man, to learn from. Ooh. Y'all get the phone lines ringing. That's right. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. How many of you ladies in the chat agree with the sister who actually gave us this topic? You must be receptive in order to receive.
Trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the child wasn't here, and you still had to pay child support?
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
Judgment.
I'm pregnant. Trail has been committed. I hit you with a bad vibes routine. How does he maintain his hump oxygen? He likes it when it pinches my nip. Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
So William. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
All right, family. Here are 3 ways where a man can cause a woman to shut down her feminine energy by his behavior. Let's get into it, family. Number 1 is a man not taking initiative. Y'all, when a woman has to initiate all the planning, make all the decisions, when she has to plan all the travel, plan all the dates, that puts her in more of a mommy mode. And she doesn't see you as a partner then. More like a child she got to take care of. Number 2 is emotional volatility. When a man cannot handle his emotions and he gets highly, highly upset, he doesn't have an ability to really regulate himself. It makes a woman feel unsafe, and therefore she shuts down her feminine energy because she does not feel safe with this person. Number 3 is a man being indecisive. Y'all, I can't tell you how much I don't like an indecisive man. I'm indecisive. I need somebody to be the decision maker. And I think most women feel the same way too.
In the name of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, save me from this torture. What? So you want, I'm just listening. She wants him to be the opposite of what she is. That sounds like lazy, spiritual lethargy. She was like, I'm indecisive, so you gotta be. You gotta chase me. What? So you get to be chaotic and wild and undisciplined. You need discipline in your man now. You're asking for what you're not. Or you're asking for a safe haven to be yourself, but he needs to be the security guard for that safe haven. You get to be yourself. I'll protect you while you wilding out. That just seems, wow. Let me just tell you a little something, man. This is hard to look at and listen to because this is what's on the internet. This is what the kids are listening to. This is what they are, uh, I would say, impacted by. This is why I'm playing one of the butter softest playlists I've ever played. I mean, this is margarine soft. This is, I mean, I'm not. Okay. Andy, your thought. Andy jumped on real quick before I get back to John. Andy?
She triggered me big time. Just based off of my experiences, dating here and there and whatnot, I've always felt like there was this trend that I could never be upset as a man. I can never.
So you didn't have space to be a human being in a relationship.
Man, and I never understood that. Or if I was angry with you, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, well, you could leave. Like, so I can never be angry with you? I can never have a grievance with you? But let you have a grievance with me. Oh, it's World War III up in this joint.
I saw you put your headphones on when she talked about the lack of emotional regulation. I saw that. Andy said, let me get these headphones. Damn it. What in the world? So you get to be indecisive and wild and emotional and breaking down and all. Why don't you just date my shoulders? So you could just stand on them, lean on them, cry on. Maybe that's it. But I can't. Very interesting. Let me get my brother back in here. John, Mountain View, Hawaii. I want to get your final summation of what we're talking about tonight. Do you think the girl or the woman who actually gave me this topic, do you agree with her or do you think she's off? She said, we have become weak because we've lost our ability to shame our women into submission. Shame-based correction. John, are you there?
I'm right here, sir. I'm right here. And I'm like, why do I picture what you sent me on Instagram? We have a crowd of individuals who is watching the woman in her natural form, butt naked, walking through the street with someone ringing a bell and the word shame is being repeated.
Oh, yeah, that scene from Game of Thrones when Cersei is walking, and Cersei, in that scene, she had to pay her penance, and the religious arm of that particular make-believe kingdom, the Septum of the Great Seven, had made her walk through the city nude while the people, the onlookers, this is the queen, while they're throwing feces and food and yelling at her, and the lady behind her is constantly saying, shame, 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 right? That's the scene you're talking about, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, Cersei internalized that event and exacted revenge on everyone. Now, Cersei...
Pause right there, sir. Pause
Yeah.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pause right there. Because that's exactly where we are.
Mm.
And those are the very same words that came from that woman. Excuse me, ma'am. If you are the animal I must tame, do you want to die or do you want the cage?
Wow. Wow. I hear you. Come on.
It is not my duty nor my responsibility. And I'll say this, and I'll try not to be gross with it, but I'm going to still say it, period. In the immortal words of Minister Jeff, if Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying?
What? What? Wait a minute. Hold on. What? What? What in the... Wait. Oh, God. If Jesus can't save them, how do you think you can? Why do you think you can? Man. All right. Guess what my big brother just did? You just brought who in the building?
Mountain Dew's in the house. Again, don't be offended. Just change. Be better. Love you all.
Hey, I love the conversation, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we on complete fire tonight. This is getting wild. This is getting wild. I don't believe shame should be used in correction. I don't. I think you can. I think if. Let me just say this: if you're trying to shame somebody, to me, there's intent, and it feels like there's malice behind you trying to shame someone. Now, on the flip side of that coin, I do believe that you can take your own shame internally and use it as a catalyst to raise up, right? To get angry, right? Anger is a higher vibrational level than shame. According to Dr. David R. Hawkins, in his book Power versus Force, shame is just above death, right? But if you can get above shame to guilt, if you can get above guilt to apathy, if you can fight your way through apathy, right, to anger, right? You can get to anger, like, nah, because where there's anger, there's ego. I can't believe this is going down. Wait a minute. Let me fight. If you're angry, you'll fight. And then above anger, in his consciousness grid, anger is at 175. By the time you get to 200 to 250, you're in the space of neutrality, right? But shame is at 20 hertz. It's very low. It's very low. Even narcissism is at 75 hertz. So a narcissist is very much alive in comparison to someone who is racked with shame. So I think shame on the inside, your shame can be alchemized and you can raise up. But I think if you try to weaponize shame to inspire, motivate, to make somebody better, I think you're abusing that person. Right. And that's what I was trying to share with the sister. But she took it to another level. She even stated, she said, I believe every man in America, and this is going to be a topic very soon. She was not every man in America. She was talking about black men in particular. She said, I believe every black man in America should have 2 wives. It's just time for us to get over the monogamy thing. So she gave me 2 radical thoughts that had me like reeling. I was like, because first off, I would never in a million years think that there are black women out there who think along the lines that she was thinking on. And like I said, the shame piece sounded like, something that maybe that was a parental style. And I don't know her parents, so I'm just saying maybe you were raised with shame. Like we were all kind of raised with shame. Anybody of a particular age was raised with shame, right? But this is very interesting. This is very interesting. We have a young lady on the line, my niece. She's got her hands all over this. I gave her this topic and she jumped through the flames and it was hell no. Attila from Houston, Texas joins the discussion. Attila,
Yeah.
what had happened?
Pastor, hold on, Pastor.
Pastor?
I don't know what's going on.
Pastor?
We going crazy, okay?
What did Pastor?
Can we talk about it? I mean, like, oh my God. Okay, I have a quote here. I'm going to read it. When the power comes from within us and we claim it as our own, are you pouring something while I'm talking? I know you're not pouring something while I'm talking.
Andy is he just did that because you said.
Don't make sir.
He just did that because you said that Pastor John was sipping.
So bad. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Pastor John.
This is my alchemy time. Don't play with me.
Okay, go ahead, hon. Go ahead.
All right, the last person that tried. Let me be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep reading. So there's a quote. All right, when the power that comes from within us, okay, and we claim it as our own, then we no longer have to affirm ourselves by dominating others. The irony is that we actually are afraid of our own power. So that's by Marianne Woodman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this: the only reason why people are, and I say people because women do this as well, when you are over-focused and fixated on controlling your external environment because you have no self-control.
Mm-hmm.
I love Pastor, but the first thing you had to bring up was homegirl being naked. If you got struggles with lust, brother, just say that. All right? But what we're not going to do is project our own internal shame about the struggles that we have onto other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially really what this topic is about. Okay? So we talked about Lilith. Lilith is exactly that. She is the first wife of Adam. That's what she embodies. She's the rebellious wife. The story goes that she didn't want to lie underneath him and, basically got kicked out of the garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bigger ideal there is the idea that you can actually say no, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can say no to someone who is lording over you and essentially have to deal with the negative fallout that comes from that. And so what is that negative fallout? Is shame. It's the thing that you repress. And it's something, like you said, that we all have. So if you're rejecting the integration of your shadow, you're going to live an inauthentic, unfulfilled life. Your dating life is also going to suck, okay? And you're also going to be a horrible partner. I don't think people are understanding that. That submissive woman that you are imagining in your head and desiring if you're a man, right? That very thing is going to come to you, but in the form shrouded as Kali. She's going to be that dark feminine. You just don't know. You're only looking at the physical because you're so carnally minded that you don't understand that you've been sent the exact opposite of the thing that you desire to teach you a lesson.
And it's just wrapped like it. Is that what you're saying? It's just wrapped like sweetness.
She knows you're lustful. She knows you're lustful. You think we can't tell? Of course we know. If I'm on a date and all you're doing is looking at my boobies because I'm top heavy, sir, what you think I'm finna do? I'm gonna play up on. I'm gonna make sure I got my titties out every day. If I'm on that type of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So the very thing that you despise in her is the very thing that you are refusing to acknowledge within yourself. That's on you, sir. I'm gonna keep going. So that whole ladylike thing, because that's something that the lady mentioned in the message, this whole being ladylike.
Mm-hmm.
That's an act, right? That's feigning malleability and submission. When you flip it. Authoritarianism, the machismo, I'm such a leader, you don't have those qualities. And you know you don't.
Ooh.
You're just as much of an actor as she is.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Can snip that out about you?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm going to run your pockets and run you. Why shouldn't I? You don't run you. You have no power in your life.
Wait, hold on. Andy wants to get it. He got something to say, but before
Andy done said enough.
No, but let me tell you why this is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Men need to hear it real and raw from women.
Yeah.
I believe you guys have a codex or a grimoire that has been shared with. Okay, you guys have a lexicon, a book, a hidden book with all of this knowledge that has been passed down. And I think sometimes it blindsides men. I think men spend a lot of time focused on dominating the world because they realize, let me just say this, because we realize. You remember 50 said it? He said, go get the money. The women come with it. He said, go get the money. The women come with it. Now, does that mean the women that are coming don't have their own agenda and know how to get to whatever that agenda is? And oftentimes when a man gets what he thinks, is the world, I've conquered the world, and then the women come, he thinks, oh, this is just an ornament or something, that like my car or something like that. And he underestimates who she is. Like you said, it could be Callie, it could be Lilith. Stay with me. When we come forward back to Houston, Texas, Attila is on complete lava flow. How to Rob by 50.
So they want to play games.
Uh-oh, y'all done got Andy turned up. Come on, Andy.
So y'all want to play games because you know I'm over here looking at your chest, right? That's what you're saying.
Are you saying she set you up?
No, I'm not saying that she set me up. She knows my situation, so she gonna play off of that You know damn well I'm carnal. You know damn well I'm looking at your chest. You know what I want
But
as a
she's
man.
not responsible for your self-discipline.
Okay, but if I'm not talking about your chest, you feel me? But you know as a man, let's just keep it G. I'm taking you out off the rip, you know I want some. That goes with any woman.
Is it off the rip?
It should be. It should be. Why else am I hollering at you? I'm attracted to you, right? And deep down inside, yeah, I do want to smash. But then again, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, in the midst of us going back and forth, you know, I'm gonna fall in love with your personality.
They in here talking, Andy. They talking, man.
Talk it, homie. I mean, so it's like, you know I want some, and you're gonna play off of the fact that you know that I want some. So you kind of play stupid. But you know damn well what y'all doing, and I feel like that becomes manipulation on their part.
But you also got to flip it back. If they playing stupid, and they know playing stupid works on you, that's the answer to your adjustment. You gotta go in at halftime and change up your plan. Because if she running this I'm playing stupid role, what's gonna be your adjustment to that? You know, many men are insecure around women.
Yeah, I agree.
And are afraid to call them out on their bullshit.
Because we want to win.
I think that's what that lady was saying.
And if we do call you out on your bullshit, it becomes a problem.
If it's a problem, it's a problem. I think men got to get comfortable with making women uncomfortable by telling the truth.
And the problem is we trying to win, though.
And therein lies, that's your fault. If you trying to win, if you're going to win at all costs, you know what you're going to do?
What?
You're going to do exactly what you saying she's doing, and that's playing games. Am I lying? Did I lie? Did I lie? He want to win. Y'all stupid. They in there. Attila in there wilding. Attila.
I'm seeing a lot of confusion about who the Great Mother actually is. And the essence of her is darkness. The first part of the mother is Kalima or Lilith. That's the first point of the mother. And Kalima or Lilith are the parts of you that are rugged, raw, not palatable at all. The parts that you kind of go and feel or maybe kind of try to move through quickly in a separate room, and then you walk out and wear your mask for the public or your social circles. It's the parts you hide to be accepted by those around you. That's the mother. That's her. So I'm just going to give you an example to really reiterate a point here about how you need those parts integrated into your whole identity wherever you move in the world in order to live in authenticity and true power. There is no authenticity without your shadow, darkness, Kalima parts being woven into your palatable, nice parts. There is no authenticity without that. Because creativity and authenticity is fueled by the root and the sacrum, and that's where your dark parts lie. So yesterday I do a reel where I'm like just speeching about people pleasers on the road, right? Somebody comments on my YouTube, this seems more like triggered venting than a teaching, right? So somebody comes in to police my Kali. They're policing the mother. See, what has happened to the mother is that she is all of nature, the full spectrum, but they don't like the dark parts of her, the rugged human parts of her, the parts where she gets triggered. She gets antsy and she doesn't present well. So this person likes it when I do my wisdom teachings and I give them Eve, Saraswati. Here's my composition and my perfect teaching. How nice and palatable for you, right? Missing the point entirely that as a divine mother devotee, it is my duty to embody every aspect of myself because that is me reflecting the fullness of the mother. If I just came to you with perfect wisdom teachings the whole time, I would be undermining the full spectrum of the mother. And I want to show people that, look, I'm being totally rugged and human here. That gives you permission to do that too. Because we live in a society where those parts of ourselves are policed, patronized, seen as not spiritual. So this person saw me as not being spiritual enough, not fitting the mold of their spiritual teacher. Little do they realize that I am embodying, the medium is the message. I am embodying the message of the mother. When I looked at that video where I'm getting ranty, I have a choice not to post that. But I always choose to post the uncomfortable expressions because I will never police my identity and say, I'm only going to give this face to the public. I could have a massive following, massive, if I gave you my perfect wisdom teachings the whole time, super nice and palatable, but that's patriarchy.
Ooh.
That's religious control, and that's New Age control. That's New Age light and love control. And that is exactly what has happened to the psyche of every human on earth. We are walking out and presenting with our palatable parts. I don't trust a spiritual teacher where I don't see like rugged rawness, where I'm not like, whoa. If I don't see your human part, if I can't see your animal, I don't trust you, because that means that you have a split psyche, because there's darkness in all of us. So where is your darkness? Do you go and express it in the public and then you come out and give us your perfect face?
You're not ready for the dark. I think a lot of people not ready for the darkness. That's the thing.
Teacher of the goddess, peace be upon you, because that's even more disturbing for me. Any priestess or devotee of the mother or teacher of the mother, if you appear the same way all the time, if you are always like in your palatable, nice self, I don't know where to put that. I don't know where to put that. Because we live on an earth where bombs are dropping on humans because none of us know how to drop the bombs on ourselves, to let the bomb emerge out of ourselves and show it. Show it. I grew up hiding my darkness because I wanted to be acceptable to every eye that saw me. My palatable, wise, Saraswati self, my Eve self was acceptable. But the thing that saved me was the power of the mother, and it was the primordial mother. It was Kali Ma, who picked me up while I was lying on the floor, swearing like a banshee. She is the one that accepted all of it. She is the one that brings the power. If you do not have your darkness expressed, or your discomfort, anything, like whether it's a trigger or a little ranty or a bit angry or a little emotional, anything that's not like acceptable to society, if you don't know how to do that around people or in public, well, you've got some kind of split. That's what's going on. There's a split there. Because if you think you can't show that, if you get afraid to show that, or if you judge that when you see it being shown, well, that's telling. That's very telling.
Ah! That was fire. That was fire. That was fire. She good. Hey, listen, this show is almost over. We're going to get Attila's final thoughts as well. We have 5 minutes. We got a 5-minute break. Listen, if you can, go to my Cash App, $Zoe support the channel. If you guys have been enjoying this information, this show today, it's our final show of the week. We'll be back next week. But if you want to send your brother out with a bang for the week, just go to my Cash App, $Zoe or support the show right here by hitting that little super chat icon, which is a $sign at the bottom of the chat. This is fire. This show fire, man. To get over generational curses, truth hurts. Takes about 7 generations to get over. I don't believe that. I believe curses are non-local, right? And they can pop in and out of existence just like a fucking electron. I don't think it takes 7 generations. I think you can actually, end something in your generation. If we're looking at Ifa, sometimes a person is born whose it's their job to end a particular generational curse, right? Maybe they're the men on their side of the family were violent, right? Were violent towards women. Sometimes a kid is born and their Odu might say, it's your job to end this streak of violent men. It's your job. That's why you're here. That's your Odu, right? So I don't necessarily think it takes 7 generations. I don't think so. But I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. Please understand. That's why I said I don't think. I didn't say I don't. I didn't say I know. I'm saying I don't think. Just based off of me talking to several spiritual practitioners, that's what they say. Truth hurts could be 100% right, and I just haven't met anybody that would support that from a particular spiritual lineage. But from the Ifa practitioners that I've spoken to, no. No disrespect for sure. None, just offering an alternative one. I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. This has been another ridiculous week of crazy topics. This topic in and of itself is bananas. Just saying, hey, showing support to your channel tonight, watching and learning. Hey, thank you, Tony, for just even popping your head in and saying, what's up, man? For even just ducking in. Hey, what's happening? I appreciate that. We get a lot of people who listen to the show, who watch the show. And the fact that you jumped in to say hello, I appreciate that, brother. We needed to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in. What up, L.S. Jefferson? What up, legendary L.S. Jefferson? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling well. Hope everything is all good with you and the fam bam. Hope everything is love. You already know we always appreciate you in this chat.
You know what I was thinking, Zoe?
What?
You know why we're indecisive?
Why?
Generally speaking?
Why?
Because we don't give a fuck about a lot of shit.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? We just want to chill. We just want to chill.
We just want to chill.
Ladies, y'all want to go on vacations. Y'all want to go on hikes and
Come
you
on.
know what I'm saying? We just want to sit back, watch the game, and that's it.
For the most part.
And then we now it's our fault that we're indecisive or we're not leaders. But like you said, our focus is conquering the world. You know what I'm saying?
So I think you bring up an interesting question, and maybe this is a topic. Do women want men to be what they're not?
Yeah.
So if a woman is
Yeah.
indecisive, they want a man to be decisive.
Yes.
If a woman is lazy, they want him to be hardworking.
Yeah.
If a woman lies, they want him to be truthful.
Yeah.
There go your topic.
I
We gotta do that's a topic.
opposites attract, right?
Ooh, he gotta be my rock while I'm his jello. I'm just it's everyone. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
One of the greatest threats to black women is loneliness.
Yeah.
Right? Can you elaborate on that more?
Well, once again, you paraphrasing me, but yes.
Paraphrasing.
Because, I tell you, I have to say that
Paraphrasing.
because people go around saying I said all kind of things, and I didn't say that, but it was something similar to that, okay? Well, because we can survive without a man. We do. All the time, all over the country, for years. We can survive without sexual intimacy. We can survive. We can make it, all right? But we're not satisfied, okay? I'm not going to say happy because the word happy is not in the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, so it can't be that important. They've made it important to us because we spend money for happiness, all right? And we think it's everybody pick out what they want to have happiness, all right? But as I said, peace is the number one thing that creates happiness and allows all of the other things to grow and happen. But we're very lonely because of our men being so discouraged right now. Okay? Some of our best brothers are in prison. Okay? They get a different education there. And we are struggling, of course, with the mental health issues that has been forced on you by living in a hostile environment your entire life. Okay? Personal rejection is very, very, that's hard to handle over the years, Many of you have been rejected by your father. Some of you have been rejected even by your mother and the entire society. That's very hard, and we don't consider that. Now, I know right now it looks like we're having a harder time, but we ain't never had as hard a time as you because the enemy has always tried to take your place and make you look inadequate by giving us everything we need for us and our children to survive. So I looked at the television the other night, and that new guy, that Swam Muhammad, whatever his name is, that's running in the election, a Republican, he said that
Ramaswamy.
if our women
Ramaswamy.
keep the man out of the home so that we can get certain benefits. I'm paraphrasing him, but that's what he said. And that is such a great lie. It was the white man's idea to put y'all out of the house. That wasn't our idea. We tried to keep you in there. We would hide you under the bed, in the closet, anywhere. We weren't trying to separate from you. Plus, if you got a whole
project area with a lot of women and children. Where do they think them children came from? Okay, there's some men that are out there some kind of way. So, this is a lie that they perpetrate. Now they're going to turn it back on us. This is how it's done.
Man, Shahrazad Ali gonna keep the fire going. My goodness, Shahrazad Ali. I remember in the 90s. Ooh, she was on complete fire back in the day. But I'm going to go back to Attila because Attila was cooking, and I feel like she was just getting started, and I want her to be able to explain. Attila from Houston, Texas. We've got to land the plane on this one. Give me your summation. What are your thoughts
Summation?
of tonight's topic?
I'm trying to breathe through it so I don't crash out. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Don't crash out.
Right?
You're good. Come on.
You're right. You're so right. I am good. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Where is it? The clip that was right before Shahari thought I was going to point something out.
Yes.
Right? Because your nephew just made a comment. You made a comment talking about compassion. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, you are correct. She's asking for acceptance, okay, of the parts that you guys do not like, the parts that you say are nagging, right? All those negative things, those negative traits that you don't like in women that you probably embody within yourself, because she's pointing them out to you. She's asking for acceptance of those qualities, right? Everybody loves a soft rebuke. They're like, no, don't do that. Think about your mother, right? When you're young and you're doing something you're not supposed to do, and she's like, okay, all right, okay, Mr. Zoe, put it down. Zoe, put it down. And you're like, yeah, I don't do it on that. You're just playing that because you're a kid, right?
Right.
When she bring out that belt and you see Collie, right? That's what we're running from. Yeah. And the thing is, you said women have this book. No, we don't. Do men have a book?
No, we
don't.
don't.
Have a book.
We don't write.
Right.
No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. We don't have a book. Go ahead.
You see what I'm saying, right? We don't have, there is no book. There is only you and me.
Right.
And you and me is we. So if you have a darkness inside of you that comes out in certain ways, like I said, that it's authoritarian nature, that you pretending to be the leader that you really ain't, yeah, I have a darkness too. Because I'm not that nice. And I'm not going to lie about that. I think that we all have to grow into the things that we are avoiding about ourselves, the things that you hide. You have to grow into that Lilith Kali aspect. Forget because we're so one-dimensional. Oh, my God, we're just so one-dimensional. Oh, men do this, men do that.
Right.
Stop.
So let me ask you this, because you're hitting on some good things here. Let me ask a question here.
Yeah.
Are men trying to buy Kalima and Lilith off by providing security and protection and provisions? Is that what most men are trying to do? Pay her off?
I would say shut her up. Because to pay someone off, right? That's temporary.
Same thing,
right?
though. Same thing.
That's temporary.
You provide you provide the security. Oh, Callie comes out in the divorce. Lilith is in the courthouse.
Don't want to be divorced. If you don't get married, you have to worry about being divorced.
Don't mention Iman Shumpert. Don't mention him.
Man, he's goofy with himself. The egg on his face must be so large right now. Look, that's Mufasa. Okay, listen.
Wow.
That's it. When I tell you I'm so happy for her because he put her so much. And honestly, she to me is the embodiment of someone who I would say can move through that Kali, that dark energy, but in a way that's graceful. Yeah? Like, you can still see, I'm sure she's probably still upset, still angry. She's probably going through a lot, but we're not seeing it. But you know what we are seeing? Them crashing out.
Interesting.
So again, you don't really like Kali very much. You don't like the aspects of your wife, your girlfriend, your whatever she is to you, that basically point out who you're pretending to be. You're pretending to be that. But, right? You walk around acting like you're Kali. I'm
controlled world. I'm a dirt, but she is that, and she pointed it out.
So let me ask you this question. So the sister who gave us this topic, was she basically trying to just say, you know what? We need to shut all of that down in order to be safe and provided for. Was she just basically saying that I'm a suppress my Kali Ma, I'm a suppress my inner Lilith. I just want to be a wife and be taken care of and live the soft life. Was she Cypher in the Matrix? I know this steak ain't real, but tell me.
Yeah, I definitely think, because I mean, again, if I get you to suppress your shadow, then I don't have to worry about mine, or so I think, right? That's my first question that I posed to you. I said, are we conflating self-actualization with masculinity in order to maintain a failing status quo? It's not working.
Wow.
It's not working, boo-boo. It don't work for you. It didn't work for a white man. Why would it work for you?
Wow. Hey, niece, guess what you just did?
I thought you were in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the house. Listen, we going to Cleveland, Ohio. When we come forward, the lava's going to keep pouring. Yo, truth hurts. Copy a dictionary and become ambidextrous. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Thank you for the support. Listen, that took us your $50 on tonight's show by giving us that on the super chat. That took us to $6 from $200 tonight. You remember, as soon as we came on the air, good brother, let me make sure we see him up here. Good brother gave us $100 off rip. Who was the person who gave us the $100? I can't see his name no more. But off rip, he gave us $100. And everybody that's been, wait, somebody else just gave us $10 or $9.99. I want to say their names as well. I'm trying to find everybody's name. James. He gave us $100. You gave us $50. And then somebody just hit us with a 10-piece. And of course, Herschel been in here all week acting a complete fool. Yes, Nell Fox 333 just dropped a 10-piece. Thank you. I'm so appreciative. What up, Joy Martin? Callie over here, bless him, my Tio. We appreciate it. We $6 away from 200. Please support, and that's on the super chat, which is YouTube. If you want to just put it on my Cash App, you can do that too. My Cash App is $Netter. Suge Mac 510. Blood, this show is on fire. No doubt. Like always, and like just always, we got 2 Cash Apps. One from Herschel and one from the sister is always super consistent. Thank you. You already know, LS Jefferson. Nzinga. We $2 away, $198.93. Thank you, Nzinga. Thank you, LS Jefferson. Thank you, Mac Shug 510. Thank you.
I know people who are each other's best friends. They like to travel together, they walk and hold hands, and I have friends who are in relationships where they talk like every hour. I'm like, are you talking to him again? Nothing changed. You know, it's up to the individuals to define that for themselves.
That's the key word, yeah.
For Barack and I think you should be clear about that, because the other thing is that when we hold on internally to an expectation of the other person, we don't even share it. So now we're mad that you haven't even seen something I never even told you I needed, you know? That takes time, and it takes work, which is why marriage is hard, right? Because you'll have the tendency to live in your head and live out the image of what you want them to be, and you haven't even communicated that to them. That's just one little fraction of the challenge of marriage and friendship and all of that. It's hard.
Come on, man. Shahrazad Ali, now Michelle Obama, Krishnamurti. I mean, so many heavy hitters on tonight's topic. Just to bring it home, we got one last caller, Cleveland, Ohio. T, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Yeah.
T, 1 second. Is this your first time calling?
No, I called the Voice of Reason before back in the day.
Okay, so let me give you the rules. We on live terrestrial radio in Los Angeles, California, so that means no profanity. No profanity. I can't hear no curse words, brother. So what are your thoughts? All right, what are your thoughts?
So, man, I feel like I feel like men overall in general, like up until we started to do this KOS, it's kind of social, or everything I feel like has always been based on women. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, I feel like everything we did for the most part, you know what I'm saying, it's always been based off women. Like, and so it overall, all of this kind of just, it surprises the hell out of me when I see all of this stuff and you listen to all the malevolence. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, as I was having my KOS journey, you know what I'm saying? Like, just reading about feminism and all of that, you get the sense that something is, you know what I'm saying, there's this thing, but I can literally say I remember myself trying to ignore that. Like, nah, it's not what I think. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's so calculated. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you listen to these feminine,
I'm listening to you and I hear it. There's frustration. But let me give you a little perspective, just a little bit. For a long time, women were under the thumb of men. And by being under the thumb of men, and I'm going to ask, do you agree or disagree? And I'm not just talking about Western patriarchy. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. It was pretty hard to be a woman in general. My question is, if you're under that kind of oppression, right, in certain areas of the world, certainly not in all, right, but in certain areas of the world, if you're under a certain level of oppression, do you think that creates a monster? Oppression creates a monster, a manipulator, someone who is the biggest and most skilled cosplayer in the world? Do you agree or disagree with that?
I would like to think so, but the problem is that the reason why I have a problem with that, a conflict with that, is because I notice how we treat white people.
No. Hold on. Before you skip to white people, let's just stay brothers and sisters, right? Before we go over there, let's stay right here, right? Brothers and sisters. If you, like a child in a negative environment, models the environment and then models the coping mechanisms, right? Or creates coping mechanisms that help them navigate that toxic environment, correct? All right. If you go ancient times, women are revered. Ancient Kemet, ancient everywhere, women are revered for the most part, right? So
can I say something real quick? That's why I don't understand when you say they've been all been oppressed, because from what I understand on my KOS journey through history, women have always been in a position of power as far as what we come from.
Right. But we're talking about here in America and why there's this divide, right? This Western culture, right? So I would say a lot of the things that men complain about women in terms of their Machiavellian nature or their cosplaying or their manipulative ways, I think they learn from us largely. And when I say us, I'm talking about us in the toxic hells of North America, in my opinion. Now, if we are to listen to what the sister Attila said and what the other young lady said on the clip, when they were talking about the actual power of women, and there's a dark side to it, and it gets ugly, I think if women want men to accept them as they are, light side and dark side, they're going to have to give us that too, right? Do you agree or disagree with that?
Balance is like, 'cause that's the thing is like, I gotta trust you to be free as possible with you.
If you know, no, I got to pull you out of that. You're my brother. I can't. You said I got to trust you to do what now?
I gotta trust, cause that's okay. That's
No. Say what you were saying. I got to trust you to do what?
I gotta trust you to give you to deal with you in that space where you being mad or whatever the ladies call it colleague, for you to be that, for me to take that, I'm about to respond to that.
So stop. So stop real quick. First off, we've overvalued trust. Really, trust is fear-based, right? To say I got to trust you in order to open up to you, right? That's you're fearful. You don't want to be taken advantage of. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to reenact stuff. That's a fear-based thing, right? All I'm saying is, yes, women have a dark side. Men have a dark side, right? Here's the thing. That dark side that has been repressed, that's part of our humanity. If we listen to Carl Jung says what? Your shadow must be integrated with your mask. That's for both men and women. In every ancient society, every male god had a female counterpart. Buddha, Krishna, Shiva, Amun-Ra, Ankhenaten, everybody got a female counterpart. So I don't think, what I think about what the sister was saying, who created this topic, I think she was basically saying this is how you go along to get along. You got to suppress what you repress and act a certain way, act right in order to be taken care of by a man. I think that was she was saying. My niece went totally against that and said, no, I have to have the room and the space to be my true, authentic self. And I have to create that same space for you, brother. But what I think is you can't do that while you're exploring your dark side. You can't do that while you're healing, because you're going to get triggered. And in being triggered, most of us reach a point of no return when we pop off on our significant other. Does that make sense? Hey, man, let me just say this, man. I love you, T, for calling in. Cleveland, Ohio is in the building. Yo, we started the conversation. It's really up to you to finish it. Hey, I'm not in here to say I'm right. I'm just in here to agitate and create topics that keep you thinking. I'll be back next week with another slew of slappers. The lava will continue to flow. Let's go. Hotness. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I appreciate everybody for showing love. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all y'all, every one of y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Y'all enjoy y'all night. Y'all enjoy everything that is to be enjoyed. I'm tired. I love y'all. I'll holler at y'all later. Deuces.